If you lost your job tomorrow, how long could you survive? Not exist, not panic, not swipe a credit card. Actually survive. Most Americans say, I have 3 to 6 months saved. I'm good. You're not good. In 2024, the average unemployment stretch in the U.S. was over 20 weeks for many job sectors. That's already 5 months. And that doesn't include hiring freezes, recession cycles, or tech and corporate layoffs that drag way longer. Here's the uncomfortable part. Your emergency fund isn't designed for today's economy. It's designed for an economy that doesn't exist anymore. And if you think 3 months is safe, this video might scare you. Good, it should. The 3-month rule is outdated. The 3 to 6 months emergency fund rule came from a different era. Lower housing costs, lower healthcare expenses, lower interest rates, lower volatility. Today, rent in major U.S. cities eats 30 to 50% of take-home pay. Health insurance deductibles are thousands. Credit card APRs are 20 to 30%, and layoffs come in waves. The 3-month rule assumed, 1, you'd find a job quickly. 2, your expenses would stay stable. 3, markets wouldn't freeze. That's optimistic. Corporate layoffs in the U.S. have shown one thing clearly. Even high earners are disposable. If you work in tech, finance, media, startups, sales, or corporate roles, you already know this. One Slack message, one Zoom invite, one calendar block. Your position has been eliminated. Your emergency fund now becomes your clock, and 3 months is not a big clock. The real math most people ignore. Let's break it down realistically. Say your monthly survival expenses are rent or mortgage $2,200, utilities $350, food $800, insurance $500, car payment plus gas $700, subscriptions and MISC $450. That's already $5,000 per month, and that's not luxury. That's normal middle-class America. 3 months, $15,000. 6 months, $30,000. Most Americans don't even have $1,000 saved. Even high-income households struggle to keep $30,000 liquid in cash without touching investments. Now layer risk. What if hiring takes 8 months? What if your field contracts? What if unemployment benefits get delayed? What if medical bills hit at the same time? Your emergency fund isn't just for job loss. It's for layoffs, medical issues, family emergencies, major car repairs, rent increases, insurance spikes. And these don't line up nicely one at a time. They stack. The false confidence problem. Here's the dangerous part. Having some savings makes you feel safe. That feeling lowers urgency. People with 3 months saved feel secure enough to upgrade apartments, lease newer cars, increase fixed expenses, take on lifestyle creep. But fixed expenses are leverage, and not the good kind. The higher your baseline expenses, the faster your emergency fund evaporates. A $5,000 lifestyle burns twice as fast as a $500 lifestyle. Your safety is directly tied to your burn rate. Nobody wants to admit that their lifestyle is fragile. But stability isn't income. Stability is liquidity plus low overhead. That's the equation most people miss. Inflation changed the game. Inflation isn't just annoying, it silently attacks your runway. Groceries up, insurance up, rent up, utilities up. Your emergency fund from 2020 is worth less now. But most people didn't increase their emergency fund target. They kept the same 3 months number. Same months, higher costs, less cushion. That's not conservative planning. That's outdated math. And when recession pressure hits, inflation doesn't politely pause. Your expenses don't freeze because you lost your job. They keep coming. The psychological blind spot. There's something else here most finance channels won't say. People don't build large emergency funds because it feels inefficient. They'd rather invest. They want returns. They hate cash sitting idle. But your emergency fund is not an investment. It's insurance. Nobody complains that their car insurance doesn't make 8% annually. They pay it for protection. Your emergency fund is protection from desperation, and desperation is expensive. When you panic, you swipe credit cards at 26% APR. You take bad job offers out of fear. You liquidate investments at the worst time. You accept toxic work environments. Cash buys time. Time buys options. Options protect your future income. 3 months doesn't buy much time. What's actually safer in 2026 America? For most U.S. households today, safer looks more like 6 to 12 months of essential expenses, not total lifestyle expenses. Essentials: rent or mortgage, food, insurance, utilities, minimum debt payments, not vacations, not streaming upgrades, not lifestyle fluff. If your job is volatile, commission-based, startup, contract work, real estate, tech, lean closer to 9 to 12 months. If you're dual income, stable industry, low debt, maybe 6 months works. But 3? 3 is optimism disguised as preparation. The middle class illusion. Middle class America feels stable until it's not. Most households survive month to month on recurring income. You feel safe because paychecks keep coming. But ask yourself honestly, if income stopped today, how calm would you be? If your first reaction is stress, your emergency fund isn't enough. Financial strength isn't about how good life feels during employment. It's about how stable life feels without it. What you should do instead. Step 1. Calculate pure survival mode monthly cost, not lifestyle, survival. Step 2. Multiply by 6. If unstable income, multiply by 9 or 12. Step 3. Park that in high-yield savings or liquid money market. Step 4. Stop increasing fixed expenses until that number is secured. This isn't flashy. It won't impress friends. It won't get Instagram likes. But it builds psychological dominance. When layoffs hit the headlines, you don't panic. When hiring freezes start trending, you don't scramble. When someone else is forced into bad decisions, you wait. The brutal truth: your emergency fund is not supposed to feel comfortable to build. It requires sacrifice. Lower lifestyle, delayed upgrades, less spending. That's why most people stop at 3 months. 3 feels achievable. 12 feels heavy. But heavy is safe. And in an unpredictable economy, safe wins. Here's the uncomfortable question I want you thinking about tonight. If your income disappeared this week, would you be calm or calculating? Would you have runway, or would the countdown start immediately? Most Americans are financially functional. Very few are financially secure. Your emergency fund isn't about money. It's about control. And right now, most people have less control than they think. Fix it before you need it, because once you need it, it's already too late.